he is saying that what happened, about 8 people must have been kidnapped that day. But the police have come out to say only 3 people were kidnapped. There is now a discrepancy as to how many people were kidnapped on Tuesday along that road. However, I'm hoping that the police can do a due diligence in giving us the actual number of people, just to ensure that there is nobody left behind. What do I mean by left behind? Now, there is a new report, there is a new development that the people who were kidnapped have regained their freedom. I wanted to say some of the people, but the official report is that 3 people were kidnapped. So I will go with the official report, and the 3 people have regained their freedom. But I started with that the police should do due diligence to ensure that it is just 3 people and not more, or else more people will be left, or some people will be left in the kidnappers' den. However, we were just told that the 3 people have regained their freedom. We don't know how. According to our in-house bulletin, the 3 people kidnapped along the Obirikwere Airport Road in Port Harcourt have regained their freedom. The incident happened around 4 p.m. on Tuesday evening. Their release comes more than 24 hours after the Rivers State Police Command said tactical team commanders and the DPOs have been deployed within that jurisdiction for adequate security measures. Now, how did they receive their freedom? Is it via ransom payment, or is it that the tactical teams went in and were able to free these people from the kidnappers? Then, if yes, who are these people perpetrating this illegal act? Kidnapping is becoming rampant. We saw it happen in MOA, and in MOA local government area, the chairman decided to take the bull by the horn and declared some people wanted. We want such activities from the local government chairman and from other responsible agencies like the police, like the River State government. We need to know who are involved in this kind of kidnapping. Like I said yesterday, that location is a priority location. It's an entry point. Someone was trying to have a debate with me, and you see, every entry point is a very vital, I say. Imagine people now get scared. At Imbiama, there is a problem. There is a security problem. People will be afraid to come in by land, just as at a certain time people were afraid to go to the southeast due to the sit at home and the killings that usually would happen sometimes in the southeast of Nigeria. So it has the effect of reducing people who are coming to visit, possible investors, local or foreign. And we need to begin to rethink, even we the people who are perpetrating. I know there's sometimes the excuse of, we don't have jobs, we don't have these, there is that deficit, there is this other deficit. However, you're going to be compounding the problem if we continue to act like this, if we continue to paint River State in the bad light. Once again, it is an airport, and once the news goes out and says that the surrounding of the airport or the surrounding communities of the airport are unsafe, then even if it's just a one-time thing and people still get to hear such news published, get to hear such news being reeled out by radio stations, TV stations, published on newspapers or online media, then it's gonna be bad for River State, I should say. However, let's move on now to the next big story. And yesterday, while reading the news update, I realized that there was a little bit of a protest. Is there a little bit? Is that right description for it? There was a protest. There was some kind of protest to Government House yesterday by some civil servants who are saying that they are yet to receive the Christmas bonus given by the River State government. Now, remember that 100,000 naira was given to civil servants who are working for the state government as Christmas bonus. Now, according to the story, some civil servants have received the 100,000 naira Christmas bonus. However, some are yet to receive, and it looks like, it looks somehow, I should confess, it looks like maybe someone is trying to play some magic. What do you guys call that stuff? They're trying to do us, the more you look, the less you see. It could be, and I hope the government investigates. It could also be that maybe, it was done in the spur of the moment. The government, just declared and there was not enough budgeting for the 100,000 naira. That could be. But the River State government has reacted, and they are saying that it is as a result of the bank responsible for distributing the money. And the bank is saying that there is not good network. The telecommunication companies that the bank uses are not given good internet network, and so the distribution has been slow, and the distribution has been very difficult. This was made known to the protesters by the head of service, and the head of service is saying that it's a good thing. It's a good thing. The disappointment is a good thing, because the people who received theirs must have spent theirs, but the other civil servants yet to get theirs can use theirs to meet some financial demands at the beginning of the year. Whichever the case, I'm hoping, once again, why I made this a part of the big stories is that the government will do some investigation, and I tell you why they should do investigation. Now, my next big story has got to do with the Ministry of Humanitarian Affairs. So you would remember Umar Farouk, the minister under Buhari's administration, is currently being invited by the EFCC because there is an investigation into that ministry on how certain monies were spent. Now, of course, social investment programs did not start with Buhari. It started with Goodluck Jonathan. As a matter of fact, over the years, even during the military era, we've seen people or head of states or leaders, reel out social investment schemes. How successful have these schemes been? It's a source for debate in another conversation. Think about this Operation Feed the Nation. So many programs, so many intervention programs done by government over the years, over the decades. We wonder if those things have really worked. However, the Buhari's administration decided to continue. Even Tinubu's administration has decided to continue. It's resurrected the school feeding program. It is also resurrected, is it a cash transfer program as well? So the social investment program is ongoing. However, the ministry looks like a ministry clouded with so much reports of corruption. So while Umar Farouk, the minister, has been investigated, what's her name now? Shehu, right? Asani Shehu now, I think. The coordinator of the NSIPA, that's the National Social Intervention Program Agency, who up until October 2023 was the coordinator of the National Cash Transfer, is also now being investigated. Now, we don't really know which is the right amount. EFCC is saying 37 plus billion. There is the talk about 44 billion. Now, the amounts are huge, whichever way you look at it. However, these monies were supposed to be for the Nigerian people, just like the 100,000 naira Christmas bonus, and that's why I'm saying there should be an investigation. I'm not saying anybody has stolen money. I'm not quick to accuse people. I always tell you allegations, all of my descriptions. However, I still do think there should be an investigation, just like there is an investigation in the Ministry of Humanitarian Affairs at the national level. Now, it does not end there, because the focus of my third big story has got to do with the current Minister of Humanitarian Affairs being accused of misappropriating 3 billion naira. I mean, already, I should say. It was not too long ago that they were appointed as ministers, and we're getting to hear stories of misappropriation of funds. She's come out to deny it. She has said those things are just printed and reported to tarnish image and the good works that she is doing in that ministry. She said a couple of things, basically denying misappropriating 3 billion naira. Now, she said all the money she's spent were approved by FEC and approved by the President Bola Ahmed Tinubu. However, I don't know. I really don't know. I want to bring back that debate. I want to resuscitate that debate. Should we even be doing social investment programs when we don't have a quality database, a good database where we can trace or track some of these monies? Now, the reason why Shehu is even being interrogated right now is because she transferred the money from the account, the central account, to other accounts that have been described as fishy accounts by the EFCC. So imagine if they were discreet enough, if they decided to, transfer these monies to so-called beneficiaries. By the way, the EFCC is saying that they will also investigate the beneficiaries of some of these social investment programs done during Buhari's tenure, and maybe even now. So I don't know what your thoughts are on that one. It brings me back to the conversation about Buhari as president. I mean, with all of these things happening under his watch, even though one of his mantra was fight against corruption. I don't know. I think everything should be investigated. Everything that looks like corruption should be investigated. Oh yeah, someone has just helped me with the word I was looking for. I don't know why I never am able to store this word in my head. Maybe because I don't like magic. But yeah, I was looking for the abracadabra word, and that's what they, maybe somebody in the River State Civil Service is trying to do, abracadabra. But let's open the phone lines and let's get your thoughts on what is happening and the three big stories. Just like yesterday, we would have to make do with the news headlines that we have before us, and these are like the three big headlines. Although I could have added the Dangote story, but I'm waiting for the final report of that investigation. You must have heard that Dangote's office, the headquarters, that's the one in Lagos, was raided by the EFCC. And the raid was because of Emefiele once again, the embattled former CBN governor. Dangote and about 51 companies are being accused of being favored by Emefiele when he was governor of the Central Bank of Nigeria, and the favoritism was done in the sense that they got forex in an easy way. That's the accusation, that's the allegation. So the EFCC is asking for documents back dated to 10 years ago, from 10 years ago up until now, to see how forex has been given to, that's foreign currencies have been given to these companies, and if they were done at the expense of the ordinary Nigerian. Now there's also to talk about the fact that some of these companies were given forex, and the companies would round trip, instead of using it to import or manufacture, they would use the forex for black market sales, to ensure that the naira continually depreciates against the dollar. So they're investigating a lot of these things. I'm waiting for the report on that one before I can jump on it and we will have a conversation. But I just said I should throw that one out there so you know that there was such a big story that happened today. Okay, so it's time for me to open the phone lines and let's get your thoughts. 0817 923 0002 and 0817 923 0003. WhatsApp 080903064416. We're live on Facebook, Nigeria Info PH. We're live on YouTube, Nigeria Info PH, and we are active on X, Nigeria Info PH. All right, time for you and I to do justice to the conversation. Remember, the first big story has got to do with the kidnappings reported yesterday. It happened on Tuesday by 4 p.m. and officially, the police is saying only 3 people were kidnapped, even though, and I'm hoping that that the police lead on who the kidnappers are, because if they're left to go, there is the possibility that they'll do it again. I've got Clinton from Bori. Clinton, welcome on the show. Let's get your thoughts. Welcome.
Yeah, good afternoon.
Yeah, good afternoon.
It's a good one that those that were kidnapped have been released.
Okay.
Like we've said, flashpoints of any state are the borders and the airport. The airport, those that were kidnapped along the airport road, the state in particular, black. So I think that the state government should be very proactive in securing the people, most especially those foreign expatriates coming to the state.
Okay.
Because we're talking about investment. We want to bring investors to River State, and when they hear the news that people are being kidnapped on that road, it scares them away. So I think a lot needs to be done in the area of security.
All right.
Then this area, NSIPA fraud. Mr. President, former President Buhari meant well for Nigerians. His social investment schemes were targeted at the downtrodden. But what is the challenge? The challenge was those he put in charge of these agencies. Farouk in particular, that woman was the big problem. We talk about the traders' money, the school feeding program, the Empower, the contract cash transfer. These were good policies, Canada, that could have bettered the life of Nigerians that are not doing well. But if you go, it looks like you said before, what is the database they use in doing this thing? But billions of naira have been released, and up to date, they are not accounted for.
Right.
So I think this current administration now have a lot to do to checkmate these agencies and ensure that every looted fund meant for Nigerians are recovered and used judicially for Nigerians. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Clinton. I've got Muriel from Okrika. Muriel, welcome. What's on your mind? Please tell me.
Yeah, Kelly, good afternoon.
Yeah, good afternoon. Yeah. Welcome.
You see, Kelly, just hearing that immediately the report came by the security agents that it just 3 persons that were kidnapped, and all of a sudden they released 3 persons. Look, Kelly, all those show everything that happened according to the narrative we had, that they blocked everywhere. So many persons that are involved in those kidnap activity, and those 3 persons they took. You know, those times they spent.
No, it could be. It could be. Muriel, Muriel, it could be. I mean, it could be. Maybe they had a target. Maybe those 3 people were their target. You know, to just scare people and shot in the air or something. It's possible. You never can tell.
Okay, if those 3 persons can come out, maybe on their own, maybe go to social media and see how many persons were actually kidnapped. If I can hear from the horse's mouth, then I will be convinced, honestly. I just hope the kidnappers did not just throw up a show like, okay, we have faith. If they say just say, okay, let us give them 3 and take 5, you know. That would be so troubling, honestly.
Right.
And for the former minister of humanitarian services, honestly, whenever I hear that woman's story, I think of Bezani. These are 2 women that have disappointed us, honestly. And I think, I really think the AFCC should go as far as not waiting for her to come. If there is anything they can do to go and apprehend her in her home or wherever she is, climb her ceiling, just the way they normally do all those activities, all those shows that they put up, then they should put up and get that woman. She has disgraced us. Thank you, Kayada.
Thank you very much, Muriel. Thank you for your time. I've got Ken from Ubumini. Ken, welcome. Ken, are you there? All right, Ken is possibly distracted. But if you can hear me, do 0817-923-0002 and 0817-923-0003. What are your thoughts? I'd like to hear. Talking about the kidnap situation, like I said, there is the possibility that it could have been 3. Right, that's the official report, and we will run with the official report. However, what is on my mind is how would they release? And if I knew who those victims were, I probably would have had a conversation with them to know, the details of the kidnap situation, right? But I've got Temple from HA. Temple, welcome on the show. What is on your mind? Hello, Temple.
Happy New Year, the very distinguished Canada.
Yeah, Happy New Year to you. Welcome.
I wish you the same. Man.
All right.
I think looking at those set of kidnapped victims that have regained their freedom, is it bad if they are being, interviewed? Because on the other way hand, I think they are also in a better position to tell us how many, persons that went along with them, probably that are still remaining, based on the eyewitness account. Because sometimes you tend to not to tell us the true picture of what transpired or how many persons, not to, seem or, at the same time, put up to the public that they are not also doing the needful.
Okay.
I think those persons, it will not be a bad idea if they are being interviewed.
Temple, like I said, if I knew them, but then there is the issue of privacy. So maybe these victims want their privacy.
For the sake of clarity and for the safety of, if at all, anybody in India, it's not a bad idea.
All right.
It can be a choice, their choice
to
say or not to say.
All right.
But on the other regard, looking at the minister that are being questioned and looking at what she said on her own part, that whatever she did was all to the consent of Mr. President. And looking at some kind of misappropriation, even some of them that have alleged under the watch of Mr. President, even from the side of the petroleum sector and all the rest of them. If Mr. President indeed always gives consent to all these alleged misappropriation of funds and all the rest of them, now, of course, when they consult that any president should not be investigated. Is it bad if they are being called to questioning? Is it a bad idea? I mean, the day when they bring up EFCC, they call them, say, they no investigate any president. Now, question what they have.
All right. Thank you very much, Temple. Frank from D-Line, welcome. Frank, what is on your mind out here? Yeah, welcome.
Let me react to passenger kidnapped along Obrikwe Airport Road. They have regained freedom. Yes, it's a good one. I'm happy this afternoon for me to hear from your radio station that they have regained freedom. And I'm appealing to security agencies for them to redouble their airport, because that airport road is our major road. People from another country and outside state that want to invest, that is their route for them to enter Port Harcourt. So I'm happy, and I appeal to my governor to make sure that other security agencies like Army should be referred to that particular aspect so that they can come here freely. This is my comment this afternoon. Thank you.
Thank you.
And God bless you.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Ida from Inkoro. Ida, welcome. Yeah, same to you.
I want to talk about the civil servant.
Okay.
I
can't hear you. I can't hear you clearly. I can't hear you clearly, Ida.
I don't know what is going on.
I can't hear you. I can hear you. Very noisy where you are. You have to call back, please. Do call back. Well, let's read some messages on WhatsApp and let's see. This one says, "Good day, Mr. Kalada. I think it is possible that the bank is responsible for the delay of payment of Christmas bonus during my NYC days. FG paid our usual allowance, but banks delayed our small allowance for weeks because they used the money for business. Banks should pay this money. Let civil servants enjoy this January." Thank you, Anna. Anna, of course, it's very possible. I'm just saying they should investigate, basically. This one says, Kalada, I think that there is foul play between the banks and the government officials. Let the governor see into this and prosecute whoever that is found guilty from Christian. And I do agree with you as well. And this one says, Kalada, good afternoon. The invitation and investigation of fraud allegations by the EFCC against the ex-Minister of Humanitarian Affairs, Umar Farouk, is a welcome development, even though it is coming a bit late because that ministry was used to steal public funds all in the name of social investment scheme. I call on the EFCC to ensure that Mrs. Farouk gives answers to all the billions appropriated to her ministry while she served as the minister, thereby truncating the good initiative of the former President Buhari to alleviate poverty. But you see, this is my question, right? That ministry, yeah, maybe noble ideas in terms of alleviating poverty, but with all the reports of corruption, whether it's Umar Farouk or presently Betta Edu, do we think that maybe we should pause our social investment schemes, because a lot of us don't even believe that the schemes are reaching the right people. A lot of us don't believe that the cash transfer, for instance, are going to the right people. The traded monies are going to the right people. A lot of us feel that there is always someone who is somewhere siphoning the money. So why don't we just, shut down that ministry for now? Build a database, build industries, build a working economy, and then maybe we can start investment schemes. I do not know. I'm just asking. As it came from Ubumini, welcome. What is on your mind?
Good afternoon, Calabar.
Yeah, good afternoon to you.
Thank you. Thank God it's first Friday of the year.
Okay, first Friday of the year. Welcome.
First of all, thank God for the safe release of the kidnapped person.
Okay.
I would have also advised the authority, especially the governor of Rivers State, to see that airport junction as a border between one community and the other, because that place needs to be built something like police station.
They have police stations there. They are police stations there.
They are, or there is.
They are, I think, two tactical units there. Yeah.
That means the people stations there should be proactive in their duties. They should forget about this 50, 20, 100 naira collection, because that particular place seems to be the border of the whole world and River State, including Nigeria at large. Because whatever thing ugly that happens there seems to tarnish the image of that in our state. Secondly, about the peace that we observe during the festive period, according to our chairman, Honorable Dr. Chief Lloyd, giving thanks and acknowledging the security in the area, I am using this opportunity to let him that the people still need our road.
All right.
To the
all right. Thank you.
Community, so that the security will also be achieved in Ubuntu community.
All right then.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Ezekiel. Thank you very much. Origi from Obogo, welcome. What is on your mind, please?
Good afternoon.
Yeah, good afternoon to you.
How are you today?
I'm doing great. Welcome on the show.
A very great thanks to the police for their welcome. But I have a question I want to ask them. How do they recover or how do they release the 3 persons that was adopted?
I'm asking that question as well. I'm looking for the answers to that question as well.
That's a question, because it is better they tell us how far they go to release them. Because you cannot just come and tell us that you have released 3 persons that were adopted yesterday. Do you pay ransom or do you neutralize the armed robbers or the kidnappers before you release them? Because up to your statement up to now, you are still saying that you are not sure of 3 and 8.
No, I am. No, Origi, I'm the one who is not sure, because, like I said, there is the eyewitness report. An eyewitness was reporting he was almost kidnapped as well, and he said he had to run for his life. And he said 3 persons were kidnapped from his own vehicle, only his own vehicle alone. And in one of the interviews with one of the newspapers, he did say that more people may have been abducted. Yeah, I'm listening.
Hello, Kalada.
I'm listening.
You see, the Nigerian police, if they are ready to work, they have every gadget to work with. And in what is happening in Ahoda West and Ahoda East, it's not going there. It's not good. I'm telling you the truth.
All right.
Before you go to do anything better there, you must pay ransom or you will carry us back from here. The place is no good. If I in a community, you cannot go at all. The boys are sitting there with us. What are the police doing?
Okay. All right. Thank you very much, Origi. I've got to move on now. I've got Mufasa from D-Line. Mufasa, welcome. What is on your mind? I'd like to hear.
Yeah, hi, Kalada. Command. I mean, this is a very rare, incident where people were abducted and within 24 hours, they've been released.
It's not within 24 hours. Actually, it happened on Tuesday, and they were released on Thursday.
It's still okay to commend the police.
Okay.
Even though we do not know if they were rescued or ransom, was paid, but most importantly, we thank for the lives of those persons that have been, released. I also want to say that if there are more than 3, I'm sure if there are other persons still in the hands of the kidnappers, they have, family members or friends who can still come out to tell members of the public that, their family members were kidnapped, or some of those that have been freed can equally give information to the police as to whether or not there were more than 3. But then again, I want the police to double their efforts on that route. Now that they've seen it as a place where they can just hibernate and begin to absorb people, the police will ensure that this crime are prevented even before it happens, because enough of this reactionary, approach. We can learn to prevent this thing before it happens. But I want to still give them kudos. Then lastly, you see, what we are hearing about these trade intervention programs and the graft and corruption that is going on in that sector, for me, I think it will keep happening or not until we start seeing consequences for wrong and, bad behavior. Because these persons, when they steal money, and we just hear on the radio and television that they were investigated and that's the end. We don't hear if anybody was prosecuted or arrested or kept behind bars. Anybody that sees that opportunity, it tends to, help him easy to access. So for me, this person should be prosecuted and appropriate punishment meted on them. That will serve as a deterrent to anybody that wants to occupy this office. We are in this country where we are told that some persons were given food in the time of COVID. You hear that some students were fed in COVID time in their houses, and it was running over millions and billions of naira. So we need to start seeing people getting punishment for stealing our common wealth. That is only where we can stop this act of thievery and stealing in our public sector.
All right then. Thank you very much. Thank you, Mufasa. Thank you. I've got Matalaye from Eleme. Matalaye, welcome.
Yeah, good afternoon.
Yeah, welcome.
My name is Matalaye Osaro from Eleme.
Okay.
Canada, believe me, in almost all our ministries, corruption is eating so fast in them. If the president can actually calm down and check into each of the ministries, you will see that there are a lot of bad eggs in them. The reason I'm saying so is because check the outcome. Check what Nigerians are feeling from each of the ministries. Check the ministries of work. Check the ministry, each of the ministries. Check the yearly outcome. You will know that they are performing even under average, beyond average. Under average, I mean to say. The reason why I am saying it is because check even in the electricity, check in power, check everywhere. They are below 40, not even 50. that is a sign that corruption is actually winning war in this country.
Okay.
So if the president can actually stand up and do more justice, it's going to be better. Actually, Buhari did not fight corruption. It was corruption that was fighting Buhari. Definitely.
Okay. All right then.
My name is Matalai.
Matalai, thank you very much. Corruption was fighting Buhari, not Buhari fighting corruption. Good afternoon, Kalada. Social investment schemes can work when we want them to work. The NPower worked, or at least it seemed to have worked. The petrol subsidy was working under the various military regimes, and even under President Obasanjo's regime. Fertilizer distribution worked in several local government areas in several states. So it is up to us to make records straight and details transparent. But Kalada, I can't help but notice that so far, the prime suspects in the fraud allegations and the social investment schemes are all women. This is why I always say there is nothing special about giving any gender preference in appointment. We should look at characters before appointments, irrespective of their genders. A text from Oibo with that one. This one says, so who is going to investigate EFCC? That's a very good question, because once upon a time they had Magu as acting chairman of the EFCC, and he was said to have been involved. It was reported that it was involved in certain criminal activities, certain fraudulent activities, even though we don't have the end to that story. We just know he was suspended and then relieved of his duty, and that was that. Now, the high increase of insecurities in Rivers State is fast becoming unbearable for me. I think police and other security agencies should re-strategize as to stop all these growing insecurities facing the people. Christian Williams from Igbo. All right. Keep those calls coming in. 0817-923-0002 and 0817-923-0003. Your WhatsApp messages, you go to the WhatsApp number 0809-0306-416. What are you thinking? What are your thoughts? I've got three big stories. Looking at what is happening right now, or what is happening today, the current affairs, these stories that look like the biggest stories when we talk about things happening inside and around River State. I've got Braid, and Braid is calling from Oginigba.
Hello, good evening, Mr. Batwo.
I greet you. Good afternoon.
Yeah, good afternoon. The minister that is being suspended. And,
it's not a minister is not being suspended. A minister is being accused of misappropriating 3 billion. But then the national coordinator of the NSIPA, that's the National Social Investment Program Agency, is the one that has been suspended by the president.
It's okay, but the truth is that he who comes to equity must come with clean hands.
Okay.
Yes, Mr. President himself, for me, I feel Mr. President does not come with clean hands.
How do you mean?
Because if Mr. President comes with clean hands, what is happening to our subsidy money? Mr. President told us that in every month, about 400 billion is being saved as subsidy money. And they're still going borrowing, mortgaging our fourth generation. And why must there not be issue in the cabinet? There must be a lot of financial crime in his cabinet. Because even himself that told us that at every month, subsidy money is saved about 400 billion. Up to this moment, worker salary is not being increased. There is no any building of foundation like a refinery or monthly refinery. And they too now, they have seen that Mr. President is also doing his own. They will also do their own.
Okay.
So before you fight a crime, Mr. President should come out with clean hands. The EFCC, this Obasanjo Where are the looted funds that they have recovered? We have not seen any. These people are just cowing Nigerians. Tomorrow they will come to the public domain, they will tell us stories. People will begin to talk about it. We will forget. Corruption is fighting back every day.
All right. Thank you, Braid.
President Buhari was fighting corruption, and corruption fight back.
Okay. All right. Thank you, Braid. I've got to go. Where are we going? That's your question.
Thank you, my brother.
Hopefully we can answer that. Obed from Rumakuta, welcome. What's on your mind?
Hello, good afternoon.
Yeah, good afternoon to you.
I want to react to how many billions, something billion?
There is 37 billion being reported. Another newspaper is reporting 44 billion. EFCC says they're still investigating and tracing all the money. So yeah, that's what I have for you. Yeah.
Kalada, my worry this money was missing under the past administration on the event of conditional cash transfer or whatever, And I'm hearing the deep administration right now is continuing on that trajectory.
Yes, they are.
Honestly.
Yes, they are.
Mean that we'll still have something like this. People during the COVID-19, when children were at home, we were told that children were being fed when they were at home. They were in school, right? I don't know if they were sending the their various homes. This was now look at the results right now. But it's unfortunate, honestly. The former president who was talking about fighting corruption ended up corruption has now won him, honestly, which has made it clear with such a monumental corruption that we are hearing right now. I told us that the former president was never ready to govern Nigeria. He was never really ready to actually provide leadership that we need. He just came to answer president, and he has completed his mission. And this is why he has kept Nigeria. Nigeria now is suffering of monumental corruption.
All right, Obed. Obed, thank you very much. All right, thank you. Thank you very much for your time. Let's read some messages. This one says, Canada, if EFCC is serious about the woman minister, they should climb the roof of her house and invade the house the same way they did to Korucha else. Everything will be seen as insincerity and tribal war. John, all right, John. Not everything is about tribe and ethnicity, please. But let's say this one. This one says, good afternoon, sir. My opinion is that the Nigerian police in River State should have a monitoring team checking those officers at each checkpoint, because most officers wearing uniform and some not wearing anything may not even be officers but kidnappers. Collings with that one. Collings, thank you very much. This one says, Canada bank telecommunication companies responsible for delay of payment of Christmas bonus in River State. Those affected should sue the bank and telecommunication companies to court for keeping them hungry throughout the Christmas and New Year celebration. From Tango Ability at Twiggy. But you see, the reason why I am questioning that reason as to why some civil servants in River State are yet to get the money is because yesterday we had some of those protesting civil servants say that they received their normal salaries, right? They received the normal one, but they did not get the 100,000 naira bonus, Christmas bonus. And that's why I'm asking two questions. One is, could it be that there was not a proper budgeting done before the declaration of the Christmas bonus? I mean, that could be. I was not there, you were not there, so nobody can actually give a concrete answer except the government. But the second one would be, could it be that indeed the monies were paid, but certain individuals decided to do, what's the word again now? Where's that person who sent it to me? Decided to do abracadabra. That's the word. I should learn how to do magic one of these days. Anyways, that's the size of the package for big stories. We'll be right back after the business news, and you and I will talk some more. Do stay tuned.